How much time passed afterwards was unclear to me. It was all a bit of a daze. As I awoke, my eyelids took their time adjusting to the light. I realized I was still trapped in the haze. Oh, girl. Huh? As I glanced at the empty spot beside me on the futon, I realized Ryouma was absent and shot up from panic. Did he go off somewhere? I feared that he had left me to fight Nakaoka. I would slap him if that was the case. I began huffing from anxiety and left the room. Dude, don't just disappear, man.
Chizuru? The hell? Still kinda early, even for you. Did you want to do an early start or something?
Oh, there you are. When I awoke, I couldn't find you, so I became worried that you might have left.
Sorry, how silly of me. Should have known leaving a woman to sleep alone was a bad idea. Of course you were worried.
Hey, that's not what I said! Even in his groggy state, Ryouma found a chance to sneak a jab in about our previous night together. My cheeks started to flare and I couldn't look at him in the eye. What were you doing in here? Were you thinking about something?
Well, I guess I just had some thinking to do.
Do you mean in regards to what Kaoru told us? In all honesty, I had still been reeling from everything he said. My entire life had been called into question, exposing the frail lies that once held all of it together. Ryouma, Kaoru mentioned something about you acting as a spy on behalf of the Tosa domain.
Yup, can't deny that. Yodo, Tosa's feudal lords, all of the retainers. All of them asked me, but I never intended to serve them. After defecting from their domain, though, they took members of my family hostage. I couldn't just doom them all. Just as he said, my original reason for introducing myself to you was to pry information regarding the Shinsengumi's activities back then. Does that paint me in a different light to you?
No. My response was unchanged from what I had told Kaoru. It makes a lot more sense, your insistence on being with her. Because I knew there was something fishy before. So everything makes sense, and you were actively smitten with her afterwards, and betrayed your oldest friend and a lot of stuff to protect this girl, so you're okay in my book. No matter what intentions he may have had, I knew that he would never lie to me maliciously. That, at least, I could count on. So is Nakaoka under the same predicament as you?
Yeah.
That also gives good motivation for Nakaoka. Okay, I like this.
It's messed up. In retaliation, he's gotten our old comrades to become Furies to seek vengeance on those goddamn retainers.
It was a tragedy, one that yielded no real winners. In a time when our country had needed its people to unify against mounting external pressures, class exploitation dominated our social hierarchies, and it was impossible to move forward while others chose to focus on conflicts from generations ago. Is your family safe in Tosa?
For now, thankfully, I don't have to worry much about that. The shogunate's long gone. As for Yodo and the rest of the retainers, they aren't affiliated with the Satsuma Choshu in any capacity. I'm sure they're too busy worrying about who's sitting on top of their own dog pile. And if Nakaoka's still planning to carry out this mission as he sees fit, then I doubt he gives a damn about what the Tosa think.
I know, but of all the terrible happenings going on, it brought me some sense of relief to hear that Ryouma's family was under no immediate danger.
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to vent aloud. Who would have thought I'd ever be going to a girl 10 years younger than me to find comfort?
Uh-huh. Don't say it like that. I always want to be there for you when you need me. I don't want to be the only one who asks for help. Let me be a shoulder for you too, Ryouma. Nice. Nice girl. Ryouma stretched his smile almost as wide as the arm he was wrapping around my shoulders. Very aggressively. Ah! Before I knew it, I was covered by his loving arms.
Thank you, Chizuru. I'll never know how I found a woman like you.
Ryouma. In spite of his corny humor, or his tendency to take things too far, they were genuine expressions of love. He's a fun guy. I'm definitely enjoying the second part of his route a lot more. It's so romantic and things. Oh, gosh darn narcissists. They always get me in the end. Okay. But we're in the final chapter. We've already had smooches and fun times, so... what am I looking for? Warrior record, right? I would hope we're in full bloom. Alright. July 1868. Shirakawa Castle, located in Aizu, had finally been surrendered over to the Imperial Army. Something peculiar came to my attention, though. There was a hint of discord amongst all of the Imperial soldiers, as if some would boisterously take part in the pillaging and others were silent. Okay. On one such occasion, Ryouma and I had been walking on the path leading to Shirakawa.
You alright, Chizuru? You should rest soon.
No, I'm fine.
Alright. Just tell me if you're tired, and this lap is yours for the taking.
I appreciate that. So does she. Wow, you guys have come so far in your relationship. Thank you. All of the strenuous walking had clearly been exhausting me, but... more than anything, I wish for the pounding ache in my feet to disappear.
Man, how the hell did we manage to find our way here without a map or guide?
Ryouma was right. The path to Yukimura village was perilous, a maze of winding roads that branched off in several directions. Okay, I was wondering when exactly you were going to make your way there. So, I guess Kaoru did Kaoru give her some very vague direction as to where the village was? I can't remember now. Because I'm like, I'm sure this isn't on any map. They're like, this is over there somewhere. I'll be there with Dad. See you then. Alright, I guess it's time for final showdown stuff. I hope Shiranui's gonna help us out. Although, Ryouma's pretty good with the guns, so... who knows? We somehow avoided becoming lost, however, as a strange intuition guided me through the dense forest. Oh yeah. It was as if a voice were summoning me from off in the distance, beckoning me to my place of origin. I hope you don't get, like, all upset again. Like, was it Soji's route? I think it was Soji's route where they got close to there and she started getting, like, really upset. All the memories were coming back. After stepping through a decade's worth of tall, overgrown grass, we had finally arrived. Looks great. As I laid my eyes on the village's charred ruins, goosebumps emerged along my forearm. Nostalgia began to twist my sentimental heart. There was something to the familiar scent of fresh air, or the crinkle of grass underneath my slipper. Well, it's either Dad or Bro.
So you've come, Chizuru. I've been waiting for you.
As I turned around, there stood. Alright, there they both are. Kaoru! Father!
After years of waiting, it does the heart good to see a family reunited after years of separation, but... seeing Sakamoto accompany you as an escort gives me the impression that you have no intention of accepting our proposal. Take it that way if you want. Before we begin, I've just gotta ask. Where's Nakaoka? I don't see him around. Oh, have you not noticed yet? Haven't you heard of rumors that something had been amiss at Shirakawa Castle after the surrender?
Don't tell me Nakaoka and his men are...
Exactly. They're continuing their experiments on the Furies at Shirakawa Castle. Thanks to Nakaoka and his battalion of Tosa men, we have no shortage of willing test subjects. I suppose this means I've got to commend them. The Tosa are quite the selfless bunch.
It was sickening to listen to Kaoru express sadistic joy over his approval of the Tosa's experiments. His lips warped into a cruel smirk, and it was frighteningly clear that he showed no remorse for sacrificing innocent Tosa lives for his own gain.
What are you wishing will come out of this? Why'd you call her here? Our aim is simple. To usher the resurgence of the Yukimura clan following its tragic, untimely demise. Resurgence? Don't play stupid. You know the tale, don't you? Of how humans massacred our people.
Well... Sen had mentioned the story to me once before. The Yukimura clan were practitioners of pacifism. As such, humans saw an opportunity to ravage and exploit my people, and they took it.
I still remember taking your hand, leading you out of the village as it became engulfed by hellfire and we ran for our lives. Listen closely. Can't you hear them? The voices of the demons crying in anguish. Or do you absolve yourself from the burden of their cries so long as you live in your ignorance? Chizuru.
Oh boy, this is the moment, isn't it? Either I give in to brother trying to make her feel guilty, or I let Ryouma's teachings take hold. I'm like, no, you don't understand. That was not my fault. I am not responsible for any of this. I was a child. We both were. If Kaoru were delivering his scathing remarks before Ryouma had entered my life, then I would have likely buckled in front of him. However, someone I love dearly once told me that I have no reason to feel guilt over sins I didn't commit. He said that even if my clan had been destroyed, I can't stop myself from moving forward with my life. I deserve happiness too. Yeah! Alright! Go Chizuru! So proud of her.
Chizuru.
I think the same could be applied to you. And father as well, right? Just because our village was destroyed, we needn't submit to hatred.
Shut up! Don't bother wasting your breath! In other words, you're saying that you've chosen instead to listen to that deceitful rat there, have you? Whatever. Perhaps if I murder him in front of you, I can restore what remains of your reason.
Just then, Kaoru reached into his pocket. It was... But... Okay, so it's... Oh, he's gonna take it. I'm like, Ryouma's already a Fury? Like, okay, Kaoru's taking it, I guess. No! Kaoru put a small glass vial to his lips. Yep. He hastily downed its contents, then threw the vial. And then... he transformed! He's taking it very calmly. Right as the glass shattered against the ground, his hair began to turn white.
Now, brace yourself, Sakamoto. Here is a token of gratitude, all thanks to your willful deception of my precious sister.
oh dang, he's like, I wasn't ready for any of this. Then Kaoru kicked at the ground, charging toward Ryouma to close the distance between them. He swung forward, light emanating from his Kodachi. Woo!
Go!
Ryouma had missed the path of the blade by a matter of centimeters, but...
I like to play with my food before I eat it. Can you tell?
Kaoru continued, inflicting a flurry of slashes as Ryouma defended himself with frantic parries. And then... Ryouma took aim at Kaoru and pulled the trigger.
Ha! In close quarters, who do you think has the advantage? A gun or a sword?
Oh, I was like, there's no blood yet? There it is.
Gah!
Kaoru knocked Ryouma back with his Kodachi's hilt, and as Ryouma tried to readjust his footing...
Too late!
Oh no, my boy!
Gah!
A well-timed slash brought Ryouma to his knees, and Kaoru grabbed a tuft of his hair in glee.
You could have killed me if you had taken that shot, but you contemplated, didn't you? Why? If it's for some sentimental reason, like that I shared the face of the woman you love, then spare me. You are a disgrace. I now understand why Nakaoka and the rest of the Imperial Nationalists found you so insufferable. Perhaps you would have been better off had I left you for dead in Omiya.
No, at this rate! Kaoru, let go of Ryouma! Oh, she's going again. I instinctively drew out my Kodachi and lunged forward. You know, Ryauma's worried when he's like, "You baka, stop!"
Chizuru, you idiot! Don't come!
I ignored Ryauma's plea, pointing the tip of my blade at Kaoru as I sprinted forward, but... a pistol rattled off somewhere in the distance. Shiranui, if that's you, you have impeccable timing. Huh? Where did that gunshot come from? And who was its target?
Gah! No!
As Kaoru clutched his breast, blood began to stain his palm, and he slammed to the ground with a thud. If that's the end of Brother, I'm gonna be like, what? Yeah! That's my boy! Pistol bros for life.
This one reeked of piss and fear. Anyone with half of a brain could tell that he was incapable of making the killing blow.
Shiranui!
Ah, so you've come.
But of course, seeing one of my kin sink to the depravity of becoming a fake was too much to bear. But I hadn't expected Sakamoto to have the stomach to kill the brother or the woman he loved either.
Shiranui lowered his gaze at Kaoru, who was lying in a shallow pool of his own blood. Is that just like chilling by a tree, by the way? He hasn't had a lot to say, and he just kind of watched this happen. Oh no, brother.
Chizuru, are you there?
Kaoru mustered enough strength to call out to me, though his voice sounded hoarse and feverish, not horse. Not as a neigh horse. Oh. He's hallucinating. Oh, I've never felt this sad about Kaoru before. I'm getting like all the Kaoru feels. Oh no, a glimpse at what brother was back then.
It's dangerous. If you stay here, the fire will take you.
His eyes were glassy, and that he wasn't looking me in the eye gave me the impression that he was gone. From what it looked like, he was floating somewhere between reality and a dream, stuck in the memory of our village being set ablaze, of its last scorching moments on this earth.
Again and again, they tell me. A male demon must always protect the female.
Chizuru, take his hand.
Aw, thank you. At Ryouma's behest, I dropped to my knees and took Kaoru's hand into mine. They were small and icy to the touch. His life was leaving him, and I tried to steel myself instead of panicking as I looked into his eyes. Oh, she actually called him brother. He's like the worst, but I'm still getting teary-eyed. Oh, yeah, I'm getting teary-upped here. Oh, no. I can't believe I'm crying over Kaoru. Brother. Our paths may have diverged by no fault of our own at the end of our village's destruction, but Kaoru was only a child too when all of it happened. I couldn't comprehend the strength he had in going to the Nagumo clan, all to protect me. To protect me. It was a kindness for which I could never repay him.
Chizuru, what's the matter? Are you crying?
These aren't tears of sadness. I wanted to thank you.
Thank me?
Thank you for protecting me. And I want to apologize for forgetting you. Kaoru responded with a thin smile, and he clutched my hand with what little strength remained in him. In his final moments, it felt as though the peace he had been so desperately searching for had come.
Don't worry about that. As long as you're safe. Mind if I sleep for a little bit? I feel rather tired at the moment.
Of course. Good night, brother. Then his eyelids slammed shut. His clasp around my hand loosened before his hand dropped limp to the ground. When it finally registered to me that he was gone, hot tears started streaming down my cheeks. My twin brother. I wondered if we would have been friends had things turned out differently for the two of us. But wait, what happened to Dad? I'm sorry, but what, did Dad just like peace out at some point? Because why was he there? Dad had no purpose being there, and he just gone with no mention. Oh man, that's funny. Oh, that took me out of that moment too much. Well, that's the biggest redemption arc we've gotten for Kaoru so far, so yay. I like that a lot. Okay, hold on. I need a sip of water. I'm dying. Okay. The following day, we dug a makeshift grave on a knoll overlooking the entire village ruins. Oh, thanks for sticking around, Shiranui.
Hate to bring the mood down, but did either of you see where Koto went? I hadn't seen where he scurried off to.
I'm glad Shiranui was noticing this as well.
Oh, that's right. Left out of here pretty quick, didn't he?
Kaoru mentioned something about Nakaoka being at Shirakawa Castle. Something tells me that he's there too.
Nice one. Time for us to settle this score once and for all.
Ryouma's eyes were fierce, glimmering with dedication as he dusted the dirt from his hands. Weren't you bleeding profusely as well? Do you need, like, any help with that, or...? No, we good? Apparently we're good. Once more, Shiranui bid us farewell. Do you not think that Shiranui might come in handy against Demon Dead and Fury Nakaoka? Shiranui, like, what are you busy with these days? I hope Shiranui's got a girl of his own on the side, because otherwise I am disappointed. Once more, Shiranui bid us farewell, and Ryouma and I made off for Shirakawa Castle. During our travels, we overheard rumors. Allegedly, shogunate forces were unable to lay siege on the castle due to its intense fortifications.
Now, how should we get in? Surely Nakaoka's got a trap or two in anticipation of our arrival.
We were scouting the outside perimeter when...
Hey, who goes there?
Oh crap! Let's hide, Chizuru!
As Ryouma got low to the ground in order to pounce behind a row of bushes...
Freeze! Don't make me shoot!
Aw, damn. Now what are we gonna do? What is the cause for alarm? Our enemies afoot.
That voice! Oh, it's the bean! I was wondering, because I'm like, Shogunate forces are in the area. Oh, or is it Aizu? It might be Aizu, because Saito did stay behind with them. Saito, is that you? It's me, Yukimura!
Yukimura, you have survived. Oh, you look kind of familiar. Say, weren't you that short guy who accompanied her on the night she and I first met?
The short guy. Just because you're a giant does not make the bean short. Poor Saito. No respect. He's so angry now. Look what you've done. Oh no. Respect the bean.
Ryouma Sakamoto. I see you have arrived in Aizu as well, eh?
Saito turned his gaze over toward the Aizu rifleman, staring at him dubiously before ordering him to stand down.
These two will be dealt with by the Shinsengumi. Lower your weapons and continue your patrol.
Understood, sir.
Okay, so the Shinsengumi is still here. And Saito hasn't parted ways with them yet, I think is what's happening. Saito said nothing more as he began walking away. Ryouma and I followed close behind, and eventually we arrived in the Shinsengumi's base camp. Well, hello.
Sakamoto! Yukimura! God damn. You've been alive this whole time.
I apologize for not having sent any correspondence for some time.
No. I'm glad to see you safe. I was beginning to fear you were snatched up by Imperial forces when they occupied Edo. But what the hell are you doing all the way in Aizu? You're well aware that you're currently standing in the middle of a military camp, right? That much we can tell. Looks like the Sachos got you all locked out, right? If you want to spare your men the trouble of wasting their lives out there, you should just surrender now.
Sakamoto, now is not the time, please. I love you, honey, but now's not the time. Even Chizuru is like, Ryouma!
Not everyone is content with putting their lives ahead of their principles like you. The Shogunate is under no pretense of usurping control from the Satsuma Choshu at this point. However, abandoning the Aizu at this current time would be a betrayal of the highest order. We have no choice but to honor them by serving alongside them.
Hearing Hijikata's explanation brought a heavy sigh from Ryuma's lips.
Well, I can't deny that I value my life over whatever you might refer to as principles, but I admire where you stand. You remind me of someone.
What? Toshi is dumbfounded.
Listen, I've got a friend named Takasugi. Guy's a real nutcase. But when he first started gathering troops in Kosanji in order to start rousing Choshu morale, only 80 men bothered to show up. Guess what I'm trying to say is, I'm not winning any fights with my blabbermouth. Men like you win wars.
Although Hijikata was unenthused by Ryouma, Ryuma's attempt at levity was one of the most genuine compliments I had ever heard him say. Hear, hear.
So not only have you insulted me by comparing me to that total imbecile, but you say I remind you of the Choshu too. You've got some nerve.
Hijikata responded with a curt tone, but all of the tension in our circle soon eased, and it seemed as though the two found mutual ground, finally. They gazed into each other's eyes, solemnly. mustering enough respect to continue their conversation calmly.
So, you mind telling me what you came here for? I can't imagine you just happened to pop in after taking a leisurely stroll. State your business. Well, we had some news related to the Furies that we thought you'd like to hear. Sanon, that's his name, right? You think you could call him out here, since he's the resident Fury expert or whatever?
I feel like Sanon's probably dead by now. No, he's still alive, my boy! Oh, thank goodness.
Got it. Hold on.
Yay, Sanon hype! Hijikata sent for a messenger who soon returned to us with both Sanon and Heisuke. With his audience at full attention, Ryouma began recounting all of the goings-on inside the castle.
Interesting. All of the pieces are coming together. We had no idea, but damn if it makes a ton of sense. Man, Shirakawa's hopeless now too.
Hijikata, I request your permission for us to accompany these two into Shirakawa Castle.
Heisuke!
Can't you see? If we let these two enter by themselves, they'll be killed on the spot. We've got to fight fire with fire and use our furies to wipe out the Imperial ones. If we don't act now, our casualty toll is only going to increase. I think this is the reason we were brought back to life, for this very mission. Right, Sanon?
My thoughts exactly. I couldn't phrase it better myself. Our talents are wasted in an open battlefield, which is a detriment to ourselves and our comrades. There is something poetic about the idea of us playing a part in ridding our country of the foul stain that is the water of life.
Oh, Sanon and your poetry. A look of pride appeared on Sanon's face before he pointed his glance over towards Hijikata. This means that they're both gonna die, though, and I'm gonna have to watch, and I'm gonna be very, very sad about that. As much as I love that they're gonna accompany us, I'm like, they're gonna turn to dust on me, aren't they? However, his commander was stone-faced. Perhaps the notion of bidding farewell to Sanon and Heisuke, potentially for the last time, got to him. Hijikata pursed his lips before finally muttering aloud.
Fine. You'd better make us proud at Shirakawa Castle. I'm counting on you to stop those Furies.
Understood.
Leave it to us! I, Heisuke Todo, vow to complete this mission successfully!
It'd be best for us to strike during the day when the Furies are asleep.
Dawn it is, then. Early morning would work best. Striking the iron while it's hot, as they say.
Doesn't sunlight hurt you, though? I've heard Shinsengumi Furies are only mobile after dark.
Our aversion to sunlight can be made up with our fortitude. Our lives have outlived their purpose.
It became clear that both Sanon and Heisuke bore no apprehension about giving their lives on this harrowing mission.
Why don't you go and rest while you still can, Chizuru? Didn't you two walk all the way here?
Yeah, get some shut-eye. I bet the Shinsengumi men will want to catch up with you, too.
Okay. Then I will see you later. I sauntered over to their living quarters and dozed off into a pleasant nap, but then... Oh, hi, Soma.
Oh, Miss Yukimura. You're awake earlier than expected.
Thinking about tomorrow makes resting a little difficult. I haven't seen Ryouma around. Do you happen to know where he might have gone?
Yes. I believe I overheard him mentioning how he needed some fresh air, so he went on a walk.
Really? Which way did he go?
That direction, I think. Would you like me to escort you?
No, I'm fine on my own. I'll be right back, so wait here. Aw, thank you, Soma. Soma bowed his head politely, and I walked briskly down the rugged trail under a dusky sky. Oh, Ryouma. After walking for a little while, Ryouma!
Oh, Chizuru. Thought you were still asleep. What are you doing up so soon?
I was feeling somewhat anxious, so I came searching for you.
Huh? You think I'd leave you behind and fight Hakuoki without you there to support me? After all we've been through, I wouldn't think twice about it.
I know. Jumping to conclusions is never good, but...
Feeling lonely without me, huh? I get it. What? Am I wrong?
Well, no. His swagger often vexed me because I was both smitten and taken back with his self-assuredness. Fair. Just then.
Oh.
Ryouma rested his arm against a tree trunk, beginning to huff in pained breaths. Oh, well, it's a good thing I came out to find you. Ryouma? Music starts. Was this bloodlust? Here, Ryouma. Take my blood. Oh wow, he changed quick.
Yeah. I know the drill.
Oh, you do? That's good. Without another word, I clutched my Kodachi and slid the blade against my neck. Oh, he let us do it this time, okay. My hands grew unsteady as the blood began to trickle. Oh my. Ryouma, yours for the taking. Upon my urging, he slunk closer to me. Likes to slink, this boy. The faint tickle of his shallow breaths against my neck felt familiar to me now. Almost enjoyable. Mm-hmm.
Sorry. For asking you to hurt yourself for my sake.
Really, it's okay. Anything to ease your pain, Ryouma.
Careful. It's hard enough as it is to keep myself from enjoying this. I just want to devour you.
With each sip Ryouma took, his breathing stabilized, and I could sense his body relaxing behind me, or in front of me. The thrill of being used enticed me, said the masochist. Knowing that I could satiate Ryouma's devilish impulses was a power to which I was growing addicted.